Hello students, today we are going to go over more on interval notation. So we can meet the objective of I can use inequality and interval notation. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to look in your white packet 5.1b and go over some of the problems there. Now we have some graphs here and we're going to match it up with the inequality, and we're going to also match them up with the interval notation on the right hand side. So this one, actually, we'll just say this one, x has to be less than 2. And if there's a space in between, in general, it's going to be an or. Okay, so it has to be an or. X is less than 2. It does not include 2, or x is greater than 6. Now it doesn't include them, so there's going to be less ink, and so that is going to be A. So, and you go from negative infinity to 2, it doesn't include 2, so it's parentheses, and then we start at 6, so it's going to be a union with 6, and then it goes to positive infinity. So that would have to go with A right here, where it's negative infinity, comma 2, union, because remember, union is equal to or, and intersection equals and. Okay? And usually in general, the and ones are together, and that intersection is like an upside down U. I don't want you to think it's anything else, so that's intersection. Okay, so that matches up with those two. The next one, I see that it's all together in 1, so I see that x is 2 is the lowest, and it includes 2, is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 6, because 6 also has a closed dot. So I say, which of these up here would that be? Okay, first of all, it has to be an and, since it's all together in just one little interval. So we're going to have to go with D on that one. And then if we look over there, we say it includes both 2 and 6 and anything in between 2 and 6. So this would be right here, D. Okay, now I go to the next one, and this one is also an and. So again, this one's and. This one's and. 2 is less than x and, or actually, 2 is less than x and it's less than 6. 2 is greater than x and it's less than 6. So that's put together, and it does not include 2 or 6, so that would be C. Okay, and then again, it doesn't include 2 and 6, it's the interval in between. That would be going up here with C right there. Okay, and the last one, we know it's an or because there's a gap. Whenever there's a gap, you have to have an or. So this one, it goes to from negative infinity to 2 and includes 2. And then it starts again, or x is going to include 6 and go up through infinity. So actually, this is a little bit easier, knowing x is less than or equal to 2, or x is greater than or equal to 6. So that one's B. And then this one over here is B. So hopefully it's starting to get a little more solidified in your brain on how, how these compound inequalities work. Okay, next we're going to go down further on the worksheet. We have these few problems we have to do, not very many. We say negative 2 is less than x, and it's less than or equal to 3. So if negative 2 is less than x, so it's an open dot because it doesn't have the line underneath. And we go up to 3. 3 is going to be a closed dot because it has the or equal sign. Again, more ink here is more ink there. So this is and, because anything that's greater than negative 2, like negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and it's less than or equal to 3, fits right in here. So it won't be a union because there's only one little section there. And so we say the interval doesn't include 2, so it's parenthesis, comma 2, but it does include 3, so 3 would have a bracket, and that would be a -2. And there's that. Okay, next one, -3 is less than or equal to x is less than 2. It's also an and one. This time -3 is included, so it's shaded, and then 2 is not shaded, but it's everything in between that counts. So then -3 is included, so it's a bracket, and then 2 is our boundary on the other side, and that's a parenthesis because it's open dot and we don't include 2. I'm going to leave you to do number 4, and then we'll go on to number 5. You can pause the video while you do number 4. Okay, x is less than -2 or x is greater than 1. So I have -1 and 2 on my graph. It's less than -2, does not include -2, everything to the left. Or x is greater than 1, open dot at 1, shaded to the right. And there's your solution set. Now, for our interval notation, it's less than -2. It goes to -infinity, comma 2. Does not include or. Remember, it doesn't include 2, so it's a parenthesis. Next, 1 is our boundary here with parenthesis, and it goes on through positive infinity. And infinities always have parentheses. Okay? Next, we're going to do number 6. X is less than or equal to 0, or x is greater than or equal to 2. Since it's an or, we're going to have an interval notation with 2 of them, but we're going to graph this less than or equal to 0 because it's or equal to, more ink, shade to the left. Or x is greater than or equal to, again, more ink, shaded to the right. So then we go from -infinity to 0. This time we include 0, so it's a bracket. Or, let's do our other interval. We go from 2 to positive infinity. And 2, does it include 2? Yes, so it's a bracket. All right, and then you do number 7. It should be fun. Have fun. Remember, students, you rock.